What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bonsai Factory. Today we're going to build a big feature that I've been dreaming of building for a very long time, and we've kind of built it with our content pipeline. Ultimately, this is just one piece of content idea that can be generated into multiple pieces of content, and it guides you through kind of the low-hanging to the higher investment pieces of content, and it audits your rankings along the way. It's starting to be, it's already been pretty dope for a while. It can generate the blog artwork based on the topics and the style. It can walk you through backlinks, and here we are to the video tab. I didn't think I'd be getting here until maybe another month, honestly, but it's time to build this. One of my customers for a bonsai pod, I guess they have a coach that's kind of trying to social media coach in a way, and has challenged them to do 7 videos. And with the bonsai pods, I don't shoot the videos, I don't really do any of the custom editing or anything like that, but anything that we can put into the product is going to be what we can deliver with video. So in this case, I think it would be easiest for him, my customer, to have Loom video on his iPhone, record a Loom video, and then we already have a process built in where I will take a Loom URL from a video like this, and I will just paste it down into Sensei chat here, and it will take that and it will improve upon the summary and the timestamps, and then from there, my custom pipeline currently just puts it into this Loom transcripts widget, and then I can analyze the keywords from there, run it through the gap finder, do more research on it, and then eventually add it to the content pipeline. But I'm starting to think that's a little convoluted, and so for my customer, I think what he should do is take a Loom URL and paste it into Sensei chat, and then Sensei should be able to, alright, so my Loom video's there. Sensei should be able to help you post it to, we were thinking maybe YouTube first, but I got chatting with my bonsai pod today, and I said, should we do this all custom, which I was most likely going to do, or should we use PostBridge, which is a company that was built by this dude Jack on X that I've been following for a while. And I remember when he came out with the PostBridge API, and I thought, that could help me. Maybe that was last year. I can't quite remember when that came out, but I kind of bookmarked it away. And then I thought, hell, we'll just build it custom. But when I asked my bonsai pod, we actually agreed that using PostBridge's API would be just way more cost effective, because let's be honest, posting to multiple social media platforms with one piece of content that was scheduled is not an easy task. There's going to be a lot of hiccups that you wouldn't expect along the way, and if somebody's already done it, and if I can pay $35 a month, then that's a pretty good deal right there. Because I could see myself having to tweak it over the next couple weeks, even if I was pretty focused on it. It would take a good week or two at least, and that's trying to having no idea how long it would actually take. But if we use PostBridge's API, it's an extra $5 a month on top of an account, and we'll see how far $5 gets us but I'm assuming it'll probably last us for a month. So we'll see. This is going to just make this dream a reality right now. So I've got it all linked up with PostBridge's API key. I just put it into my bonsaipod.env file. And now my master sensei, as I like to call it, my OpenClaw, is asking me if we should have Codex handle it. It's a 13,000 line server JS. Codex is a focus session, probably the move. I'm just gonna say, let's cook. It's time to cook. So the idea is it's gonna take this Loom video and then we'll be able to directly publish that to let's take a look. We could just look at platforms. Let me go back. X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, Threads, Pinterest. LinkedIn's big. But I guess the big reason we decided to go with PostBridge instead of building it custom is, I guess, dealing with Meta. So Facebook and Instagram is like super complex, more than you'd probably think. Because I was able to build the integration with X pretty easily. Maybe it just took like less than an hour to get it up and running. Both Instagram and Facebook, that's potentially another story, because you have to submit for approval, and I guess their approval process is really slow, big pain in the ass. So if we can bypass that by using PostBridge API, hell yeah. And then look at all these other platforms that we can basically start posting to instantly. So if I can get this all working this week and get an onboarded video sent to my 2 new customers for bonsai pods, I think that would really blow them away. So that's what we're gonna do. PostBridge is done and live. Cloud code finished in 6 minutes. PostBridge JS 368 line API client, upload, publish, pull, analytics, 429 retry. 8 endpoints added to the server.js. Live verified, hit PostBridge API, found your 2 connected X Twitter accounts. Pod generic, works for Williams, Bonsai Furnace, any future client. Server needs a restart to pick up the new endpoints. Want me to restart it and test a publish? No, we're definitely not going to call it. Silly sensei. Yeah, let's restart it, and then I want you to walk me step by step through testing it. I want to be able to do it very slowly. Done. Let's go step by step. Fetch your connected PostBridge accounts. This is read only. Just ask PostBridge what social accounts are connected. No posting, no publishing. Run this. Am I running this from the bonsai pod? Guess we'll see. Here's your step 1 command. Just fetches your connected accounts, totally safe. There we go. Beautiful. Now what? Is there any way that we could have our Bonsai Pod customers on their Bonsai Pod dashboard sign in the way that we already have it built with X, for example, and that it could actually transfer those kind of sign-in keys to PostBridge without having to go log into PostBridge, or without me having to get their password and do that for them. I want to keep it all on platform if possible. Alright, so it's telling me that we can't have our Bonsai pods share the OAuth with PostBridge, so I will have to do that from PostBridge. The problem now is that, you know, it's saying that you could just have a PostBridge account for each customer, which I could, but I think if we went to the higher paying plan, the $50 a month, I think you can have like teams and set up other seats, and that would allow them to just log in, because I obviously can't give all of my customers' accounts access to all of my other customers. That would be a huge security flaw. So that's how we'll do it for now. Luckily, my current customers are basically friends, family. They trust me well enough that they'll just give me their logins. Shouldn't be a big problem in the short term, but in the long term, I think we can just upgrade to the higher paid plan. Now we're going to do the draft test. This will create a draft in PostBridge visible on the dashboard. Run this from pod 0. And saying it should show up as a draft now. Let's check this out. Drafts. No draft posts. Huh. Oh. 2 months free when you go pro, huh? Oh, when you go annual on pro. Okay. Not as tempting right now. So that doesn't seem to have worked. No drafts here. I'll just grab that URL. Make sure I'm looking in the right place. Now supports text only posts, no media required. Need another restart. Let's go. Then rerun the draft test. Okay, now let's come into PostBridge, refresh. No drafts yet. I was planning on building this actually, like in coming weeks, this content calendar. So this will be kind of cool. I probably will still build it, to be honest. But I might upgrade to the pro account so that I can just have them connect their accounts. We'll look into that as well. Just refresh one more time. Drafts. Still not seeing any drafts. All right. OpenClaw just had a total brain fart. I had to start a new session, but we are up and running with that draft. Showing my Jackalope Twitter account right there. 3:31, 10:04, 2 minutes ago. Looking good. Now, if I click into here, I could switch accounts here. That's really cool. search your past captions, platform captions. When you select 2 or more accounts, you can customize the caption to get used for each of them. 2200 words. Duplicate, delete, save, schedule post, pick a time. Let's add to queue. Configure queue schedule. That's kind of cool. I like that actually. Configure queue schedule. Okay, I'll probably do that later, but that's really cool. You could probably get pretty complex with that. Let's do, should I tag them? Let's say PostBridge API. Testing PostBridge API. Switch accounts. Okay. Thought I was following them. So it's an underscore. Select date. Let's do today, tonight at, it's a nice little scrolly bar there. We'll say at 10, let's say 10:10 p.m. Okay, update. It's in 2 minutes from now. And I want to check the calendar. I can see it there, that's nice. I want to see the week view. That's cool. Love it so far. Great product, Jack. Okay, that is scheduled. Alright, I just scheduled that. I tagged PostBridge in it, and that'll go out in about a minute. I just wanted to see it in the content calendar, month view, the week view. Really loving PostBridge so far. The next thing I would like to do is like really integrate it into our content pipeline as well. How would you suggest going about that? Would each card in our pipeline represent a piece of content on PostBridge that we could see from their dashboard as well? Also, should we have a PostBridge tab in the content card modal? Or should we have it as, currently we have like the video in the sidebar tab, which is going to handle all the different platforms with video right there. And then maybe we have one with image. Or do we have individual tabs for individual platforms? That is the question. Alright, my recommendation, option B, per format with PostBridge woven in. The video tab already exists conceptually, keep it. That's where Loom drops land and PostBridge publishes video on all platforms there. Add a text social tab for X threads and a text-based post across the platforms. Image tab when you need it, not yet. The image tab's already there. Inside each tab, the PostBridge integration looks like view in PP link is key. Lets you jump to PostBridge dashboard for the specific post. Best of both worlds. Okay. Each channel in a pillar gets a PostBridge post array instead of a single PostBridge post ID. What do you think? Does option B match how you see yourself using this? And do you want PostBridge's status syncing back automatically, cron polling, or is a manual refresh fine for now? What do you think about option B? Yeah, option B, I agree. Let's MVP it. Let's build it. I think there was one thing I disagreed with. Let's see. Publishes, video tab, text tab. Oh yeah. We already have the image tab. Where image tab when you need it, not yet. You said image tab when we need it, not yet. I think maybe you were saying we already do have the image tab. I hope you know that. But are you just saying do the PostBridge integration inside of the image tab when we need it? If that's the case, then yeah, let's just focus on the video tab for now. All right, clean build, no errors. It took a while. I had to restart OpenCloud. It's been having some issues lately. But distribute via PostBridge section between long form and upsell. Platform checkboxes, icons, colors, usernames. Auto loads from API per platform config. YouTube title override, TikTok draft toggle, X caption override with 280 character counter, save draft and post now buttons, live status display per platform, posted, processing, draft, failed, view and PostBridge, external link, JS functions added, load accounts, pillar ID mode, post ID. Let's check it out. All right, pipeline's not loading. We've got some console errors here. Just gonna take this over to OpenCloud. All right, the pipeline is back up. Let's take a look at this. So under video, let's go to one of these. How does that say locked? So I've got a Loom video there, it's just not loading. Connect social accounts to enable distribution. Okay. All right, so walk me through how I should test this. Well, I think I need to take a little break here and head home, have some dinner. It is 11 p.m. after all. But then I want to come back and finish this tonight because I'd like to send this to my customer tomorrow as a very pleasant update for him, for them. But let's see if I can put a bookmark in this at all. All right, so hard refresh, go dashboard, content card, video, check PostBridge section, scroll down past long, Loom ingest, distribution timelines. We're looking for iPhone action button. Where's that one? Top right here. it was saying go to videos, and then below the Loom we have distribute via PostBridge. Distribution timeline, you should see distribute, yeah. Since accounts haven't been loaded, connect social accounts to PostBridge with a load accounts button. Should fetch those accounts. Type a test caption in the distribution caption field. Save draft. Okay, let's try it. That's what I get when I click load accounts. Alright, that should be fixed. Let's try it again. Load accounts. There we go. Leave blank to use video description. That's awesome. Distribution caption, caption for social posts. Uses video description blank. Okay. Awesome. That is incredible. I love this. It's just each piece of content just has its own card that will just take you and turn that one piece of content into, so far we could easily hit probably 20-30 pieces of content just from what we already have in here. So I'm going to come back later. I'm going to get this all wired up and polished so I can make a video about it to send to my customer tomorrow. But you are getting a first look at how this is all going to be wired up using PostBridge API. Thanks for your good work, Jack. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.